Yeah.
All right. Hi, everyone. It's Ann and Kia. We're here to show you how to do a chip bag today. So we're just going to let everyone kind of get on. But the Canva template is available in my stories. And actually, I'll link it later on to here. Unless, Kia, you wouldn't by chance. You know what? I can... Do I have
Can you put it in the chat?
Yeah, if you can post it in the comments.
Okay.
Can you get to it? If you can't, it's okay.
Yeah, let me just get to it.
People on. Let me know if you guys can hear as well before we get started. So I have us on, let me see. I also have this on my screen so I can make sure that I can see everything. I think everything looks really good right now. So I was just telling you, well, first we should say happy birthday. She's celebrating her birthday today. She's still jumping on. It's 9:30 her time, which I think is crazy. But I love it. I love it. And so the reason why she's on, and we haven't really talked about it, but I did put it in my newsletter for those that have been following pretty closely. She is going to be one of my co-hostesses, so that she's on there. Did we decide? Do you know which one you're doing? I can't remember.
I'm doing the Eiffel Tower favor box.
Excited. So she's on today because she wanted to test out StreamYard to see how the live stream works. So that's why she's on, and she's going to craft with us, which is always helpful for me because I feel like I craft and I try to think of questions that you may have and answer them before you ask them. But it's always nice to have someone else doing it along and being able to talk to me at the same time, just so that there are other questions that can come up. So what I love about this is last night I went live on Instagram and I was doing this. And on Instagram, I don't do a lot of chip bags, but on Instagram, I wanted to test out the different ways. So if you guys remember Claudia from Miss Olivia Rose, Claudia and I, we did our first, that was like my first collaborative workshop a year ago. So a year ago, we did it in LA, and she does her chip bags. She does it with a hot glue gun. And I don't use my hot glue gun unless it's absolutely necessary, because I feel like it's just so final, right? Like there's no adjustments at all. So, anyway, but I realize now I do like using my hot glue gun for the chip bag. And then yesterday I also tried out the super tape, which I didn't like. I don't know. Kia, do you know, what do you do?
So I don't do many chip bags either, okay. But, and I saw you use hot glue and I thought, okay, I really have to try that because I've never done that. And I would have thought that the glue would be too thick for the crimper. Yeah. So I'm really excited to try it tonight. I have done chip bags, like one big set of chip bags for a crafter friend of mine who was like in a pinch for a birthday party. And I used a series of things because I couldn't really find something that I loved in that one project, right? So I used the double stick, like the tape runner. I used double stick, like regular tape. I even used like Scotch tape on some things to see if I could make like the kind of that really good Scotch tape that disappears. You don't really see it. And her paper was glossy. So the Scotch tape actually was the best, which is kind of crazy because you wouldn't think, but it disappeared into the glossy paper. Okay. But I still really wanted to find a more seamless way to do it. So I'm excited to try the hot glue.
Okay. Yes. So with the hot glue, because I am still, I still get nervous about it. So a couple things. I've seen people do it many different ways. There are some Etsy shops that sell these kind of like ready to go, right? So you can buy 30 of them for your birthday party. And so the way they ship them is they fold it. So there's like folded lines on the two sides. So they just basically glue this down for you, crimp both top and bottom, and then they make it flat. So so there's
but then you get lines. The crease.
You get the crease lines. Yeah. But that's just what they do. So but I don't like the crease lines. So, but before we do that, what I do want to talk about the template. So I always, and I don't know if you can't really see it on this one because I did a really, I feel like this is like a very muted palette and intentionally muted, but I always like to do a ring around or an outline around the whole chip bag with a white bar. And I like the white bar because especially like if you had something that was very bright, when you go to glue this and you accidentally glue it slightly off, you can really see it. So I like to have the white to kind of just like, hey, there's always going to be a white bar and you can trim it and whatever else. I just like it just, I think it helps me hide my mistakes, and it just looks cleaner in the end, even though, I feel like we're used to seeing it with packaged stuff, so it doesn't really matter. But the other thing you want to keep in mind is depending on your bag, like whatever snacks that you're stuffing in here, some snacks are going to be thicker or like puffier than others. So you want to make sure that when you're, I'm going to use my hot glue gun, but when you put this down, that there's a lot of space. You can either do it where it's not overlapping a lot or it's overlapping a ton. But you want to make sure that whatever snacks you use, I mean, if you're going to use like Doritos, for instance, that thing is so puffy, you're going to really need to be on the edge and just barely glue this down. So what I like to do is I like to glue just a little bit at the top so that my paper is down and but I only have to deal with that little strip like at the top. Then once it's dry, then it kind of holds itself in place. So then I put it on its side and I just do a line of glue down this way. And I find that helps me not get so stressed about it. I mean, there's nothing to be stressed about. However, I don't know. There's something about it that just anytime that I feel like I'm under the gun, that's when it just doesn't work for me. All right, so if you were able to access the template, what I like about the template is that it gives you an idea. Like, I don't expect you to do this Paris theme, but now you have the template and you know exactly where everything goes. You know what the center is, and so you can see right now it's very centered. And then when you flip it on the back, the nutrition facts is right here. You can easily go in there and change the words to the birthday girl, like, I don't know, all the things that she likes or the things that she's great at or whatever. And then I always like having a little thank you on the other side of the panel. So you could just swap things out, which I like. How was the glue for the strip down, Kia?
Okay, so my first one didn't go so well. But I get it now because the first part I put it on just a little too thick. And then when I put it together, you could see a little bit of the glue. But now I see, like, you really just need this tiny line of hot glue, which...
Yeah, it doesn't require a lot. And what's crazy is the crimper that we're going to use later, it's on my Amazon list. So if you go to amazon.com/shop/the-useless-crafter, you can see all the tools. And this is under, I think I have a chip bag one, but this crimper is amazing. So what it does.
Oh, I was going to say I was going to get my Excel blade and take it apart, because this is the best thing for, like, if you mess something up. And you're like, oh, I just need to take it apart real quick. Best tool ever.
And just I love it. I love it. They'll be so happy to hear that. I'm going to have to tag them.
You're the one who taught me about this.
I love their tools. But so with the crimper, what it does is it kind of helps you seal everything too. So what I want to do with this is Amy from... Darn it, now that I remember her name, I can't remember her handle, but she was saying, sometimes the glue gets too thick. So why don't we crimp first and then glue? And I'm like, I don't know why I didn't think of that. So yeah, like you kind of just always think that like, you got to glue everything first, right? So I'm going to crimp this right now.
Okay.
Now, when you're crimping, and I mentioned this yesterday, if the first time you do it, it's not straight, you can just send it back through the crimper again. And surprisingly, you can't tell that you messed up. It looks like the first time you ran it through. So I'm going to actually crimp top and bottom. And I haven't done this yet. Like, this is the first time that I'm doing the crimping before I glue it. But I have a feeling that it's going to work out really well. It definitely is easier to crimp it straight. So you can see mine right now. And then now I'm just going to glue it, which I don't know why I didn't think of that. So Amy, thank you for that. I'm going to have to go back to my comments. That was a really good tip.
I feel like I got a better crimp when I crimped it first than I usually do. and then glued it together.
Because
so like the crimp is it's very crisp, right? Like you can see it really well. That's a great tip.
And then while I'm at it, I'm just going to trim it. And I just feel like these extra steps just make it look so good between the little
I forgot about
the edges. Okay, so I'm gonna stick. I ran out of chips, so I'm sticking just gummy bears in here. But pretty much what I like about using this size is that it's a one size fits all. You know that it's going to fit on an 8.5 by 11. So you just print it. You avoid, I mean, I know a lot of us are Cricut users. You avoid the Cricut completely because you're going to use the whole sheet. So this is a whole 8.5 by 11. It's koala paper. So this is what I'm using. So I'm going to show you right now. And I wrote down there, I don't know if you guys can see it, but for 14% off, if you use More Crafts, so it's MORCRAFTS, so More Crafts. It's Claudia's code, so she gets a little kickback from it, and we get to support her. But you also get 14% off. So I'm using 48 pounds. I think that you should. I have the
same thing, but I think I have it in 32.
Oh, you have it, yeah.
The 32.
You're using the 32?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so tell me how that is, because I think Claudia also uses, I think she said 34. So what's crazy is I went on the Koala website, and they have a 29, a 32, and a 34. I feel like that range is so tight that there must be a huge difference, even though it's so tight.
You know, it's
otherwise,
funny because
you just have one.
Yeah, right? It's funny that you say that, because the when I was printing the 32, I feel like it was super thin, like almost close to not quite copy paper, but like really thin compared to what I'm used to with like cardstock and,
right.
And I almost wonder now, like what the 34 would be like, because the 32 feels a little thin. And so I kind of wish I had both,
Okay,
but it does fold so nicely. It does fold so nicely with the thin paper.
So mine is, this is 48, and you can kind of hear it. Like,
mine's not like that. It's real thin.
Mine is, okay. So so maybe 34 is the magic number.
Let's go with that.
So then I'm gonna seal this up. So I will say, so far, I am liking this crimp then seal.
Me too. Ooh,
now, granted, the one that I'm doing right now has no mistakes, because what I put inside was so much smaller than a typical chip bag. It was the gummy bears, not the teeny tiny ones, but still it's flat and easy to use. So that's the other thing too. Like sometimes I don't like, and I'll show you the ones that I did last night. It's still cute because in mass, right? Like when you have 30 of them on the table, it just looks stinking cute. And I think it's just us being very critical. Like I see the little, just the paper, I'm not thrilled about it, but like I said, in a whole little container with a bunch of them, they're going to look so adorable, right? Or when it has like someone's face on it and they're just like teeny tiny and adorable, you just love it. But I like having the smaller treats inside, just because it eliminates that whole, like, this looks very clean to me, and I like it so much more.
Yeah, you completely convinced me on the white around the edges, because I did your design, and then I made my own, and I used your template, right? And I just added, I thought, oh, maybe the pink would look cute crimped, But then when I went to print it, it had the white border around, and I thought, oh gosh, I got to trim it down. And so you end up with a little bit of a smaller treat bag. But then I was thinking this would be super cute as a as a favor, even if you made it, and then you could put, like, I pulled some things. I have a 3-year-old, so I pulled some like a Kinder Egg, and he had these
kinetic stuff things in there.
Yeah, and and then you could put. So I put, thanks for coming to Charlotte's pretty Parisian party. And then I also left a little this part, because you have the nutrition here. I left this part empty, and I thought, I always think it's cute when people put like the guest's name on something, or like even little kids, if they get to like color on something, like it's like a thank you note. And so I left a space you could have them write like their name or their friends' names, or just something like that. So but I think that the white on the edge is the way to go now that I've printed this out.
Well, and I say that because before, when I didn't trim this, because it still looks it's still pretty cute. Like if you see right now, like this one, I haven't used the scissors to do it. It still looks really good, right? So for a long time, and don't ask me why, I have like, I'm like a total hoarder, but I had refused to buy these scissors. I was just like, I'm never going to use them. Only for these chip bags. Like, I'm not buying them. So I was doing it like this. And here, I know, it's so dumb, right? If you fold this and you didn't trim it, if you didn't fold it and the back side is up higher, you would then see the white of the inside of the chip bag. So that's sort of why I kind of like the white border in general, just because I feel like you don't notice the mistakes as much. But
I think for efficiency's sake, like it's definitely the way to go. I'm laughing because I saw your stories today where you were like, showing us everything you bought. But, it's like we all have our things, and then we're not going to spend money on scissors, I have these.
You gotta draw the line somewhere.
These are my old sewing scissors, and I just never wanted to throw them away because I'm a craft hoarder. So,
right? I know. It's so ridiculous. All right, so I'm going to do another one. Tell me in the comments, do you want to see me do it using a different thing? So when I first started, because I love Barely Art, I use Barely Art glue, and that works as well. So it gave me a chance to kind of realign everything. The only thing the negative I would say about using Barely Art is that you need to make sure it's dry before you let go, because the bag with 48 pounds, the paper is kind of strong. So if you like the force to open up, and because we're not pressing down and making a crease, it will pop open if you don't let it dry. And then that's really the only thing. So
I've used Barely Art too, and it's really good. But I also I used that when I did it, I used clips to hold it together until it was totally dry. The ends didn't seem to be, with the crimping wasn't as big of a deal, but the seam down the back was the part that you had to be like 100% sure it was dry.
Yeah, you got to flip it over and like push down and make sure it's all good. Especially because it tends to pop up in the middle if you don't have good pressure on the whole thing. Because if I'm holding it like this, you can kind of see the middle is popped up a little bit. So, all right, I'm going to do another one. So I'm loving that new process. So we do the middle first. So put a little bit of, we're like refining the process right now. Put a little bit of glue in that top like quarter.
Yeah.
And get that settled. And then that way the rest of it, because mine, I've been saying, it's 48 pounds. So the whole thing kind of stays, it's easy for me to glue down the rest. So this keeps it in place, and then I'm just going to run a little bit of glue all the way down. And I've done this using glossy as well. What I'm using right now is matte. Are you using matte or using glossy?
I'm using matte. I don't have any glossy paper with me right now. I was going to do, like a couple of each, but I didn't realize I was out of glossy paper. But I kind of like the matte look, especially with this design.
Right? I know. I used to only do everything glossy. And then now I feel like I've been changing a lot to matte. Okay. Yeah. So my old method, I would now glue this, put in my chip bag, glue the top, and then crimp last pretty much. But now I'm actually going to crimp top and bottom. So I'm just going to fold it down a little bit. There's still no crease. Just at the bottom, because obviously once we crimp it, there is going to be a crease, but the middle part will not get creases at all. So I'm going to stick it in. And then also, yes.
Oh, go ahead. No, I was going to ask you a question.
No, good.
Go I was going to say, do you have any secrets? Do you have any secrets to spill?
I do. And I'm super nervous because there's an NDA. So like I cannot spill the secrets.
Okay, well don't spill that one. I don't want you to get in trouble. Only good secrets.
It is a good secret, and you'll know I think you'll know sometime in July. But that has seriously, it's got space in my head right now.
Oh man, that's hard. It's hard when you have something super top secret, right?
Yeah.
So I had to cut this one small because remember I was telling you about my printer, I was having printer problems today. But my son had these these are leftover from Easter, but they've got like kinetic sand in them. And that's that sand that sticks together, and they totally fit in. Like you could totally put this in, and that could be like a party favor or something for kids. I think it's so fun. You could put really anything in these.
Yeah, no, when I realized I didn't have the chips, I'm like, why can't I put gummy bears in there? You know?
Yeah, why not?
You can put pretty much anything. And did you catch it last? Were you on Instagram last night? I can't remember if I saw you.
I was on for a little while.
I did my reel afterwards, and I stuck in like chocolate mochi balls.
Ooh, those look delicious. Oh,
so the box didn't fit, but what I did was I pulled it out, and the whole thing. Well, you can see I ate 3 of them, but but this fits. So so much can fit in this 8.5 by 11. So I just want to point that out. Now, so the first time that I put this in, I just wanted to point out, so it went in uneven. So you can kind of see it's kind of planted down. Just stick it back in and redo it. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. So hopefully I can get it straight this time. Okay. So now it is straight, and you can't even tell where there was an issue before. I think it's like it's kind of crazy. Yeah. So just remember, you can always go back and recrimp, and it'll fix everything. So I'm gonna do the other side. Did you get to see? Did I even post it? I'm losing my mind. You know what? I haven't posted it, but I did mention it. I am gonna do a live on Tuesday with Amanda from Lace Designs. Do you follow her?
So that's when I jumped on last night, and I heard you say Amanda, but I didn't hear her handle, and so I didn't get a chance to go and look and see what she does.
Okay, so she is an SVG, like a designer, right? And
fun.
Yeah, and I had never. So she has. I can't remember exactly, but she has like 75,000 followers. So it's not like she's not known, but I have never, no one's taught, I haven't talked to anybody who's mentioned her. I had never seen her thing. It just showed up on my feed one day, and it was her nail polish, her personalized nail polish holder. And it was so stinking cute. So as soon as I saw it, I'm like, who is this girl? And I started thinking, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's huge. And then I saw a ton of people that I know follow her. So I'm like, how am I left in the dark? So I reached out to her right away, and I'm like, I love your stuff. Like, if you want to do any sort of collaboration, I'm totally in.
Yeah.
And, she's so stinking cute. So she's never gone live before. At the time that I was, talking to her, and she was just like, I'm really nervous. I don't know if I need to go live. Like, can we do anything else that doesn't involve?
Didn't Kayla say that too? Didn't Kayla say that? She's like, I'm a designer. I don't go live, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I feel like a little bit of a bully. I make everybody, I'm like, just go live. So, but yeah, so we're going to do a cereal box. So, you need to buy the template through her website, but it is the cutest thing. So I am going to change my cereal box to be, the ooh la la theme, but I'm super excited about just having her on there and being able to ask her questions. She is, you know how sometimes you can look at something like somebody's project and you can tell who it is, right? Like there are a few designers or a few creators that I feel like I can recognize their work, like Janet from Crafty Decor and Ema from Be Whimsy, right? Like if I see it, I'm like, oh, I feel like that's their work.
Yeah.
So Amanda, Amanda doesn't have that. She's not that way. She's almost like a professional like ad agency. I don't know if that makes sense. Where like,
oh yeah,
you know, she's gonna make it look like whatever you want it to be. Whereas
right.
I feel like someone comes to me, I'm always gonna tend towards the girly side, and there's like a certain look and feel that I always go towards.
Yeah.
But as I browse through her feed, I feel like she's very much a professional. Like I don't think, I mean, she's a really good designer, and like visually it looks amazing. But I feel like it's probably exactly what the customer asked her for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm really excited to kind of pick her brain to understand like how to shift towards that way and be able to be more neutral and put my spin on it in other ways. I don't know if that makes sense, but
that's cool. Yeah, that's not easy to do. So
no, I know,
because we get stuck in our comfort zone, right?
No, definitely. Like if someone wants, anything that's like not usually my style, like I just, it takes me forever. And then I don't love it.
Well, we've talked about this with die cutting, right? Like that's been a hard style for us to try to figure out how to fit us into something that's so different for us.
And it's hard for me to like it. So like, even if I totally met the customer's requirements and they love it, I look at it and I'm like, it's just an okay project. You know?
Okay, so I finished the pink one with, oh wait, here. And I think the pink is cute on the top and bottom.
Okay, so hold on. I'm going to flip you over so that we can see that better. So I'm going to flip you on the big screen.
There you go. Okay. So it's super, I'm like, whoa. No, it's super, I love the pink on the top and the bottom, right? Like it's super cute. It was a little more difficult to make the seam on the back, like really match up perfectly.
Yeah.
But also this
and I loved you changed the design.
Yeah. Well,
I love it. Oh my gosh, so cute.
And I know your daughter's name is Charlotte, but I also have a friend who's a crafter whose daughter's name is Charlotte. And when I saw this little girl, I was like, when I saw Elise, I was like, oh, this is definitely a Charlotte thing. So
you know what else? I love the mini. That's also very cute. I know it's a little bit smaller in size, and we're kind of wasting paper, right? Like, is that a good size though? Because then
it is a good size because, you know, you put like, if you're not putting chips, right? If you're just putting like the gummy bears and stuff in there, it's like the perfect thing. And like, if my child walked away from a party with this, I'd love it. I think they would have fun, totally like cute. You almost too.
So the other thing is, have you ever? So you know, most of the time we close our bags like this for chips. Have you done it where you fold it this way and you sort of create like a little?
No, but you know what? I'm gonna do one.
It's much cuter when it's smaller.
That's fun. I'll try because I have one more left, so I'll try that.
Okay. Oh yeah, good. So it's this look right here, if you guys can see. So it's cuter when it's small. It doesn't look that good in this chip bag size, but I think this is also a very cute shape.
Yeah, I'm going to try that with this one.
Okay. I love it.
I just had to add this could be a postcard. Do what?
No, Tam said this could be a cute postcard.
Oh, that would be cute. Well, especially with the
and Diana says piece
with the postage stamp for your little design with your postage stamp and stuff. Yeah.
I know. I love all the little details for this workshop, and you get so much with it. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But Diana says we could these could hold little jewelry treats, candy necklaces, ring pops. Oh my gosh, how cute would that be? Like you said, a whole bag of treats.
Yeah. Oh, Diana, that's my friend Diana. That's awesome.
Oh, I love it. Okay, I don't have anything to put in here. Okay. Oh no, I do have something. All right, so I'm gonna put it in. Yeah, I definitely like crimping it before we glue.
Yeah, me too. That was one of the things I didn't like about it the last time I did it was the crimping didn't seem crisp enough. So the detail wasn't as noticeable, and this fixes it.
Okay, so I'm going to trim this. I'm going to have to go back to my last post and let Amy know that that was a fantastic suggestion.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, so now I have 5 bags.
You're going much faster than I am.
Oh no, I had them from yesterday.
Oh, okay. You tricked me.
Yeah, no, you're good. Which gives me time to show you guys some of the projects that are part of the Ooh La La workshop. So I don't know if you guys have already joined and are members, but this is the latest thing that we added. So this is the last thing that we're adding. It's the macaroon box. And what's great about working with a designer, so Kayla from the Salty Yankee, is that she makes great files. And then because they're actually, SVG files, you can resize this. So this can fit other things if you wanted to. You would just need to change the width and the length. And then everything else you would adjust at one time. But look at how stinking cute. It holds 6 macaroons. Okay. And these macaroons are so dang pretty.
They are. They are. Have you ever made macaroons?
And this, no, but I'm gonna sign up. So we were doing this workshop, and then after the workshop had already started, my husband is we're doing a mommy-daughter trip, and we're gonna go to Paris. So I'm gonna sign us up for a macaroon.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be so fun.
Yeah, no, I'm so excited to take her, and it's just, it's gonna be so cute. But so this box, what I like about it is I can bounce it up and down. The box it's sturdy. I mean, I love a well-constructed project. And so I think it's important because you don't want it to fall apart. And you also there are certain things that they were meant to do, and it should be able to hold it. And you can see the crisp lines of this, and just the fact that I can drop it and I am comfortable with it.
That's awesome.
And then just like this one. So if you haven't seen any of the stuff for Ooh La La, this is some of the projects that comes with it. We've got a boulangerie box, which I love this box.
It's so pretty.
You can put things in there. This is just my absolute favorite. Do you have a favorite project? I think I asked you, but I can't remember now.
Well, I have to say, I'm always a sucker for a good challenge. And that off the mat is out of control with the bike. It's intense. And so it might be my favorite just because it's a good challenge. But I really like it was really hard for me to choose a favorite between the boulangerie box and the Eiffel Tower favor box, because those are both really fun.
Yeah. All right. So I'm bringing over Elise because you can see she's hanging up here.
I mean, that's just nothing I've ever seen. It's awesome.
I love her so much. So you can see the wheels spin, the flowers, I love the flowers, how they just look really just bursting out. So this is one of the projects. And then, I don't know if you can see the 3D letters from there. Sort of, the Ooh La La along there.
Yes.
And then this is the Eiffel Tower favor box. So this is just the top. I'm going to hold it all together. And again, I'm in love with these flowers. I don't know if you guys remember, but from the Encanto project, it's when I used these flowers. And so I wanted to make use of them again. And so you can kind of see from the side, they kind of just pop out. And then I just love it. So they're 3 individual favor boxes.
Yeah, they're awesome. And can you show the letter with the Eiffel Tower on it? Because I feel like it's something you need to see up close.
Yeah. So this one, if you can kind of see, it's transparent. It's the first time that I've I've seen this.
Cool.
I mean, I kind of was just thinking about it. So let me show you the difference between the two. So I feel like, first of all, normally I don't even use fairy lights, but, and I'm sorry about that other camera, but I'm using fairy lights instead of those Amazon lights. And the reason is because I like that there's lights all over and not just like in, you know, 1 or 2 spots. But this is your typical one where the backing is, you know, is covered. But this one I did, so it has a totally different look and vibe. And with the lights in there, they really glow. I have a lot of lights going on, so it's kind of hard to see, but I love it. I love it so much.
It's awesome. It's so unique. I can't wait to make that.
And then, yeah, I'm really excited about this one too. It's a little bit different than what you normally see. So,
I think 3D letters, I don't know what it is about them. They're so satisfying to make. I love making 3D letters.
I don't know why. I was
just
like, I've never done so many, like in a set, you know, where
that's
like, I needed to make it look different. I've never done 7. It's 7 letters. It took a while, and I tried to make them like different but cohesive, and it was definitely a challenge. And I don't know, it just felt like I was finally crafting again. Like I craft every day. I mean, it just feels like I'm always posting projects, but this was like, it was all me. Like Kayla came up with the files, and you know, we had a lot of inspiration. Like we did a Pinterest board and made sure that we were happy with where it was going. But then once it finally got to me though, then I got to make all the changes and do all the little extra things, you know, and it all just came to life, and I love everything. And it just, I don't know, I felt really creative.
Yeah.
And not that I'm not creative on a daily basis, but it was just like a whole collection, you know, so it was different.
Yeah. Yeah. It's easy to get into a creative rut sometimes. That's why I like doing other crafters projects. Like for me, it just gives me a whole new perspective on something. Like I would never have done this, right? Like,
it's cute.
I think if I was going to do it, I would change the design to fit it, but I tried to make the design fit it, you know, but it's so fun to, and then that little Kinder egg I had fit like with some other goodies. You can hear them rattle around. Like it's perfect. How fun.
And it's cute. And a lot of people haven't seen it. Like us creators, like we see it, but you know, but the kiddos and the parents that go to the birthday parties don't see all those little things. And so it looks really cool, like all on a table, you know, 20 of them or whatever in that shape. It's super cute.
That's awesome.
All right. What was I going to tell you? Oh, so in case you didn't know, because I think this is a little bit different, the Ulala workshop is a little bit different than the craft alongs in the sense that, you know, we usually bunch them all into 1 or 2 days. This one is going to be starting June 9th at 4 p.m. Pacific. Every day is a project. So Friday, that June 9th Friday is project 1, and then Saturday is project 2, and then project 3 is going to be on Sunday. So it's going to be 5 consecutive days, and they're going to be recorded. So you can always go back and watch them. If you can't make it one day, it's okay. Because again, the replay is going to be available to you forever and ever, as long as you're a member. So make sure that you get it. The files are amazing. So it comes with the 5 projects, clip art, and we really threw in a lot of extras. So I know Kia,
I was
you
surprised
got
at how many extras. Huh?
Did you get to play around with them a little bit? I mean, I saw your chip bag had a lot of elements.
Yeah, I think that the I don't know why, but the paper airplane I just love it so much. It's so simple but so cute. And I was just amazed when I opened the files that there were so many little extras to just kind of take everything and make it your own, but it's still also cohesive and cute, and I just love it.
I really, really love it. And then did you know that the postmark, you can go in there and write and add like your little customized thing. So you can put, you know, like Charlotte's birthday, and then you can put the date in there.
You know, I saw that and I thought that would be fun to do, but I didn't realize it was set up that way. That's awesome.
You can use what's in there, but you could you know, it's an SVG file, so you could take that out and just enter in whatever it is that you want. So that's the other thing that Kayla was so awesome about, was that Yes, they're clip art, but then there's the SVG files so that you can go in there and customize before you flatten it and turn it into a sticker or whatever it is that you want. But yeah, I love it. We just, I don't know, this was really, really cool to design that whole thing. And I love having a designer to just like whip things out. It makes such a difference because I feel like I'm always trying to come up with some workaround, right? Like, here's the SVG file. It's not exactly what I want, but let me try to, you know, make it into what I want. And then there's Kayla, who's just like, okay, so tell me what it is. And then next thing you know, it's in my inbox.
I know.
Yeah, it's so amazing.
If you see her, like the way she draws, like on her Instagram reels where she draws things, and I'm just in awe of like how, I mean, I know it's sped up, it's not real time, but just the fact that she could even do that so easily, it just seems so flawless. Like, she's just great.
Did you already take a look at her Inkscape tutorial?
I didn't, but that is one of my like kind of new goals is to learn to make some of my own SVGs kind of from scratch instead of modifying other things, and seeing if I can learn to do that too.
Well, I'll give you a little secret.
Oh.
So Kayla and I, you know, we want to do a series of these, and they're not going to be all the time, but like, you know, because it's a lot of work. But we wanted to do a series where it sort of like culminates in someone being able to design something on their own in Inkscape. So we're kind of like feeding you the first one, and we're hoping that there's going to be a few more, so that
that would
you know,
be
it's
really
more
fun.
like
I like
project based.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she's I don't know, that was kind of our idea. Hopefully you guys like it and let us know.
I think it'll be awesome.
Yay. So does it look like, I think everyone already, like, there's no questions. Oh, Tam says it's on my bucket list. You know, I don't even know if it's on my bucket list anymore. Like, I'm just, it's so hard to be a designer, and I don't know if I have it in me.
It's, you know, like time. It's the time and detail.
Do I want to invest that time to be good, or because being a junky designer doesn't help me either, right? Like, then I'm gonna still want to buy it. So it's like, do I, you know, am I committed enough? I don't know if I am. I think I'm just gonna constantly buy designs for the rest of my life.
We'll keep them in business, right? We'll keep them in business.
Yeah. We gotta support small businesses. And Sarah says this box is so beautiful. I hope you read it. Well, actually, this one or this one. I love both of them. So it looks like you guys don't have any questions, and I think we're done. And don't forget, so Tuesday, so have a great Memorial Day weekend. Tuesday, I'm on Pin TV doing the passport coloring book. So if you missed that file's also free. And we'll drop all these things into, definitely if you're at the Ooh La La workshop, we're gonna put it all there so that you will have, it'll be easy for you to access and get all those things. But if you're not part of Ooh La La, you should be. But I will post the link again. And I think when you watch the Pin TV, you can make it with me one more time. And then later on that night on StreamYard again, so Facebook and YouTube, I'll be on with Amanda from Lace Designs, and we're going to do that cereal box. So I'm super excited to do that. And then lots of surprises in June and big news in July. And I'm going to get off.
You're trying so hard. You're doing so good.
Thank you for joining me, Kia, and happy birthday. And I hope, I don't know when I'll see you next. I don't know. We need to figure that out.
Yeah,
but hopefully we can celebrate in person.
Okay.
But all right. Good night, everybody.